Hello! It's me, your friend, Allure Burns. Welcome back to my channel. I am very excited that you're here, and I am very excited for this video. Oh, but first, if you're here for the first time, jazz hands, welcome to our community of weirdos. So, as you have seen by the title of this video, and if you have been following along, you know that this is the last video in this month-long series about decluttering. So some people call this the minimalism game. I call it an exercise in patience and perseverance. So I have been doing this challenge, and many of you have been following along with your own version, either exactly the challenge that I'm doing or your own decluttering challenge, whatever. Any amount of decluttering is a great amount of decluttering. But if you're not sure what I'm talking about, some people call it the minimalism game, but basically it's a decluttering challenge where every day you get rid of, and we'll talk about what getting rid of something means, you get rid of as many items as matches the number and the date. So August 1, you get rid of one thing, August 2, 2 things, August 31st, 31 things. And if you see the clutter behind me, there's like an ironing board, random basket thing here. My office is still a little messy from the decluttering because I hit the office this week and not everything has been put to right. So yeah, like this shelf, I have plans for it. It's going to be cute. It's not cute right now. So jumping in, when last we talked, we had completed 3 whole weeks of this decluttering challenge, and it was going swimmingly. And I have to say, I have started to run out of steam. I have not run out of items to declutter, but I've been running out of steam a little bit just because this is a marathon, y'all. And so, oh, but first, I need my disorganization counter again. When I talk about getting rid of things, we had some categories that we'd come up with. So that was, you can trash it, you can recycle it, you can give it away to a person that you know, or you can donate it. And so I have done all of those things this month. They have all come into play exactly. And then the categories of items that we're decluttering are books, clothes, kitchen things, bathroom items, storage units if you have one. I do not, craft supplies, digital clutter. I never even got to digital clutter. Junk drawers, I never got to junk drawers. I didn't make it to a lot of these because I have apparently so much stuff in my house that needs to go. So let me tell you how this week went, and then I will show you the footage of every day, and then I will come back at the end. So don't go away. I'm going to come back at the end. I'm going to give you my final thoughts and my next steps. So this like kind of week and a half, actually, it went well. I hit or exceeded the number for each day of the week. I have to admit, I didn't do it every day because like when I got to my office, it was so much stuff, and then so I had like enough things for multiple days at a time, so I just went with it. So if that's not the way you're supposed to do it, oops, but I'm not really that sorry about it. It was good. It's just it's a long time to do this and to do it by yourself. And so like my husband did a little bit of decluttering, but he doesn't have that much stuff. I am the one that has all the stuff. So it was mostly just me doing it. Yes, and I'll save my final thoughts to the end, but let me just say that as you will see in the footage, I was still pulling things from all over the house. So even though I may have been like in the laundry room, there was stuff that doesn't belong in the laundry room in there. Even though I may have been in the office, there was stuff that didn't belong in the office. Vice versa, like kitchen, whatever, the same. So I think with that, I will let you see the rest of the footage for each day. So days 22 through 31. Oh, disclaimer, I'm actually filming this on the 30th. Because I want this video to come out during the day on the 31st, and so I fudged a little bit, but I mean, it's the right number of items, so it's not that bad. I just really wanted the video to come out on the last day because the first video came out on the first day of the month. So all of that being said, almost 5 minutes in, I'm sorry. Y'all know how I am. Watch this footage, but stick around because I'm going to tell you my final thoughts and what is going to come next. Day 22. I have started on my office, and oh my gosh, it's a lot of things. So for today, this is the all the things that are going to be recycled. So I have, you know, a bunch of cardboard stuff, a lot of paper, some packaging that I'm going to break down and put. All of this is recyclable, which is really nice. So it's day 22. I definitely have more than 22 things because that looks to be almost a whole ream of paper there. So that is, I don't know, it feels kind of terrible. Like, I don't know why I felt like I needed to print out this whole manual and have it in a binder, but I did. And it's really making me think about why I did that. I don't know. It's making me feel bad that I did that because I didn't need to print out all that stuff. So just like, you know, one more little thought to myself about how to be a good consumer of our natural resources. Like, don't print out a whole manual if you don't really need to do that. Anyway, day 22, and it's all recyclable stuff. Day 23, so this box came out of my office also. It is full of very expired, used, some of these are empty products that are left over from a program that I used to run where we would have like makeup days and like whatever. And so I would get lots of donations of products to use for our little events that we would have. Anyway, all of this stuff is super old and it needs to go. It's all, I went through everything. It's either used or expired, so none of this can be donated. But it's day 23. There's like 50 things in here. Day 24, and I have a bunch of binders. It's like 10 binders, a few more books, these two really nice laminated wall calendars, and a bunch of reusable, like, nice grocery bags. This one is like the least nice because it's a little ripped on the outside, but all the ones on the inside are really nice, high quality reusable bags. I just have so many and I don't need to have them. So here we go, day 24, and I believe this actually was exactly 24 items. Day 25, and I have these full of things to be donated. We've got some really nice completely sealed tea in a nice tin. I don't know how many, a bunch of headbands, yoga straps, some cute paper straws, some picture frames still in a package, a hand mirror. Underneath that, there's some like more like random office supplies underneath that yoga strap. And in here we have 2 sets of pajamas from China that were given to Richard and we're not going to use. A big like wall-mounted bottle opener, some pushing earmuffs, a hot sauce kit that's completely new, selfie stick, a purse, and then some more like small things at the bottom of this blue bag. So it's day 25. There's definitely like 30 to 40 items in here. So, and it's all going to be donated. Very excited. Day 26. I'm in the laundry room and I have about 40-ish items. I lost count and I gave up trying to count. So it's everything from here over, so not the stuff, not these shoes. Here, so I've just got like really old witch hazel, some old flea powder that we like wouldn't use now, old remotes to things that we don't own anymore, this vintage ashtray, dog sweaters, raincoat, harnesses, a lot of clothespins, a lot of headbands, some like sand, I don't know, an old sheet, a bunch of these pebbles, these 2 containers. Anyway, lots of stuff just randomly still in our laundry room that doesn't need to be here. So it's day 26, but it's a lot more than 26 things. Day 27. There are way more than 27 buttons in this bag. I went through all of the buttons and I pulled out ones that I wanted to save, and it was like maybe 10 buttons. So I'm keeping 10 buttons and I'm going to donate all of these. Day 28, I have a mix of things. kitchen things to donate, packaging to be recycled, some plastic that can't be recycled to be thrown away, some baking things are under there, expired dried food, some fabric, some ribbon, tea strainer, candle, a piece to something that I don't even own anymore, a little black organizer case, some postcards that you color in. It's really just like a jumble of stuff here, but it is 28 items. More than that if you count all those little marble things in there, but I don't think we'll count them. Day 29. I have a number of organizing tools. These really nice bamboo things that I don't think I need anymore, so I'm going to give them away to somebody who wants them. Then I have some old essential oil samples from multiple companies, and then I have these cool glass vials of varying sizes that I don't need in this moment. So I'm going to give them to somebody who has expressed interest in them. So there you go. And this is exactly 29 items. Day 30. Ooh. So I have 30 items here. I have a bunch of napkins. Some are full sets of 4, some are just random ones. Napkin rings, some games that we never play or that we played and we don't like, some little shot glasses, some partially used lotions that I don't care for, some lip balm, this scarf thingy. Yeah, there we go. Day 30. Woo, we're almost done. Okay, this is the very last day, day 31. I can't believe it. And here we have more than 31 items. So there is a bunch of perfume samples that I went through. I ended up only keeping like 6 perfume samples, so the rest of these are things that I didn't like the smell or I don't like the sample style. I like how they do it now where it has these like spray tips. I don't like the old school one. I always end up spilling them on myself. I went through my jewelry, got rid of rings I don't wear. That's a necklace, some hair clips. There's a book under here, this makeup mirror, a couple sheets, foam roller, and then this Timbuktu bag that is damaged in a few places. You can see here. It's still good, but I was gonna clean it and sell it, but then in the process of trying to wash it in my washing machine, I kind of ruined it. So I'm going to donate it instead, and someone will find it at the Goodwill and be very excited and love it, and there you go. So yeah, day 31, we finished the month, OMG. Day 31! We made it through an entire month of decluttering so many things. So if you were to declutter the number of items that matches the date, I think it's like 496. I definitely went over 500 items. I'm probably over 600 items at this point because I exceeded the number so many days. It feels really good. So my final thoughts are, question, did I like it? Yes. Am I glad I did it? Yes. Would I do it again? Yes. Yes, I would. Maybe not next month. Maybe in February, the shortest month of the year. Do I think that the next time I did it, it would be as easy? No. I think with this, I really have rooted out a lot of stuff that needed to go, and that to do this again, I would really be having to dig a lot deeper in making these decisions of what goes and what stays. What was helpful, I think, was knowing that there were people in the community like you doing this along with me. And even if you weren't doing a decluttering challenge or doing the same challenge as me or doing any decluttering challenge at all, just knowing that there were people like cheerleading and watching the update videos and like saying, you can do it, you're doing great. It was really helpful. And hearing the experience of people that were doing some kind of decluttering challenge saying, oh, I just decluttered this, or I did this, or I donated this many bags to Goodwill, or like whatever, like it was really bolstering for me to read those comments. So thank you so much to anyone who commented, because it was actually really, really helpful. It's kind of a slog getting through the month, you know, just like I said at the beginning of the video. It was a lot. I'm really glad that I did it. And the next steps for me, I think, are to finish the job, because even though we did 31 days and all these items, 600 plus items, I'm not done. I didn't even make it really to my clothes. I mean, I did kind of do some of my clothes, but I didn't touch any of my like seasonal clothes that are put up, which is a lot of items. I didn't do my shoes. I didn't do accessories at all. I have purses and wallets and scarves that I didn't even touch. I didn't really go through all my jewelry like super well. I didn't, what else? Oh, here's the big next step. I didn't touch all the things that are in the guest room. And the guest room is a special case. It just ended up being, like, the guest room is my junk drawer. And I've mentioned it before. I thought maybe I would get to it during this challenge, but I didn't. It's really not as bad as I'm probably making it out to seem, but there's a lot of stuff in there. Like right now, if somebody showed up at my door and was like, hey, can I stay here? It would be like a task to unearth the bed from under all the clutter. Plus there were 2 closets in the guest room. Neither of them are like the worst, but they're both, you know, not great. So I'm going to keep going. So number 1 next step is finish the job. And number 2 next step is to continue reflecting, as I have been this whole month, about being a thoughtful consumer, both of our natural resources, like I talked about with paper and stuff like that. I've been trying to go more paperless. I've been trying to implement more zero waste-ish practices in my home, and I actually want to make a video about that soon. I am by no means a zero waster, OMG, but I am trying to take steps that lead to better habits and practices. So that's definitely something, like being a thoughtful consumer of things. I am very, very proud of myself. During this month, I have continued to buy things, you know, like bought some clothes, I bought some makeup, like whatever. But I'm really proud of myself because I have been really good at like being on my phone and seeing something and almost buying it, whereas before I would have just bought it. But me going, do I really need this? And then not buying the thing. I didn't buy so many things this month. I talked myself out of buying a lot of stuff, and I'm sorry that I'm pointing at you a lot, but I'm very excited about it. So even in person, like seeing stuff, I went to Target. I recently just released this, I think, you know, yesterday? Whatever, released this video about going to Target. Like, I could have bought more stuff at Target, but I talked myself out. I said, you don't need that. Laura Burns, you don't need that. So I am already seeing the results of me trying to be a more thoughtful consumer, and I'm really excited that I'm kind of ingraining this habit in myself, and I hope that it continues as I move forward. I'm going to continue practicing being a thoughtful consumer. So yeah, those are the next steps: finishing the job, continuing to be a thoughtful consumer, continuing to implement more or less wasteful. I don't want to call it zero waste because it's not zero waste, but more thoughtful choices, more reusable things, less packaging, less just like paper and whatever. I don't need to use those things most of the time. Anyway, so yeah. Those are my thoughts. That's the conclusion. So my question for you is, if you did the decluttering along with me, how did it go? Tell me in the comments. How did your decluttering challenge go? Did you do the same thing as me, or did you do something similar? And what were the things that helped you through it, and what were the things that made it more difficult? And what are your next steps? I have a lot of questions for y'all this video. So all the things that I told you, I want to know the same stuff. And if you didn't do a decluttering challenge, do you feel maybe a little more motivated to do some decluttering in your home? Question mark. Or do you feel a little more motivated to think about the way that you consume things in the world, whether it's our natural resources or just like all the stuff that we buy and fill our houses with? It's something that I think I have been thinking about for a long time, but really, especially lately, I've been thinking about quite a bit. So I'm curious to know if y'all are thinking about those things also. Well, I'm going to end this because this is getting very long, but thank you so much for watching this. I hope that this whole series has been inspiring to you to maybe declutter a little bit in your life if you need it. Not everybody needs it, but if you are like me and you need it, then I hope that you do. And any amount of decluttering is good. Don't be mad at yourself if you don't do like some huge month-long challenge. Any amount is good, any amount is good, any amount is good. And anything that you can donate to a Goodwill, a women's shelter, an animal shelter, anything like that. If you have an organization like we have in Houston, which is the Texas Art Asylum, and I know that there's something in Austin that's the same thing, so I assume that there are places like this in lots of towns, but it's a place where you can donate stuff and then they sell it to like teachers or like the public really at like super cheap prices. So it's a way to let your craft supplies, your art supplies, your, I don't know, random bag of pom-poms, whatever, get used by somebody who could actually make good use out of them and they don't go into a landfill. All right, so like I said, I hope this was inspiring or helpful, or at the very least, entertaining. If you like this video and my whole series, please like this video or consider subscribing to my channel, and stick around. I will see y'all next time. Bye. Thank you so much to the supporters who make it possible to create this content. If you've enjoyed my videos, learned anything, been inspired, or just want to keep seeing more content, please show me some love and consider supporting me on Patreon or Ko-fi.com to make a one-time donation. Your support means everything to me. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, your presence, your engagement, and our community. All the links will be in the description box below.